The darkness that follows, they say, children are more vulnerable to the supernatural. I never believed that. Not until the nightmares began. For as long as I can remember, I was haunted by a voice. It would whisper through the walls, slither through the cracks in the floorboards, and echo through the flames in the attic. A voice that didn't belong to anyone I knew. Malicious, ancient, speaking in a tongue that sent shivers down my spine. But there was one nightmare that never faded, one that still lingers in the edges of my mind like a shadow waiting to pounce. If you're reading this, get comfortable. The story is long and the fear runs deep. I found myself outside my house. It was nighttime, and that was strange because I was never allowed out after dark. When the streetlights come on, you come inside. That was the rule. And yet there I was, staring through my living room window. Inside, my family sat around the dinner table. They were laughing, talking, completely unaware of my absence. I knocked on the glass. No response. I banged harder. Nothing. Panic rose in my throat. Why couldn't they hear me? Why didn't they notice I was missing? A movement in the corner of my eye made me turn. Swing set stood in my driveway. That wasn't supposed to be there. Swinging back and forth, as if the night breeze had hands, was my best friend Kyle. Relief washed over me. I wasn't alone. I walked over to him, but something was wrong. He was facing forward, eyes unfocused, not speaking, not acknowledging me. His body swayed slightly, like a puppet whose strings had been cut. My stomach twisted. "Kyle," I said. No answer. I waved a hand in front of his face. Nothing. I remembered the secret stash of candy I had hidden in my backyard. Kyle loved Starburst. If anything could snap him out of his trance, it was that. "I'll be right back." I called over my shoulder and ran to retrieve the candy. When I returned, Kyle was gone. The swing rocked back and forth, empty. I felt my blood turn cold. The houses around me were dark now, their windows like black, gaping mouths. The streetlights buzzed overhead, casting a sickly yellow glow. And then, one by one, they began to go out. Pup, the light farthest down the street, vanished. Pup, the next light flickered, then died. Pup, 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 pup. Each streetlight went dark in a perfect, orderly sequence, heading straight toward me. The air thickened, pressing against my chest. I stumbled backward, my breath coming in short gasps. My house. I had to get inside. I bolted for the front door, slamming my fists against it, ringing the doorbell over and over. "Let me in, please. Let me in." Behind me, the darkness swallowed everything. The final streetlight, the one above me, flickered, and then I screamed. Laughter, deep, guttural, twisted. I felt it before I saw it. Something slithered through the air, an icy presence that coiled around my throat. My limbs locked in place. The shadows moved, stretching toward me, reaching with long, clawed fingers. The last thing I remember was closing my eyes just before the darkness took me. I woke up in my bed, drenched in sweat. My room was quiet, too quiet. The nightmare should have ended, but something felt wrong. I turned my head to check the time, and that's when I saw it. A figure stood in the corner of my room, tall, motionless, watching. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. All I could do was listen as it whispered in that same ancient voice. Something had followed me back. I never had another nightmare like that, but I was never the same. The darkness had found me that night, and I think I know, not have really left. Even now I feel it watching, waiting.